them.
What's going on YouTube? CodedProphecy here, back with another video for you guys, and as you can see, we are here for the third episode of the little defense series I have going on here for Guilty Gear Strive. Now, in the past we talked about Chip, which a lot of you guys did like that video a lot, and we also talked about May. So obviously, in terms of the big three characters I wanted to talk about, it was Chip, May, and the character we're going to be talking about today is Leo. Now, I specifically picked these three characters to start off just because, like I said in my first video, these three characters are probably the most annoying for beginners to start off with, and they have some of the most tools that are really easy to defend against, but if you're someone that's new to the game, it's going to be really hard for you to keep track of and really easy to get hit by. So I wanted to make these guides to help you guys out with being a little bit less annoyed while you play online and have a lot more fun, you know what I'm saying? So like I said, we're going to be talking about Leo today. Now, Leo is one of those characters that I really like to play a lot because he's a really fun character, but I know he can be annoying. And the thing about Leo is, while he is annoying, it becomes a lot more annoying for the Leo player themselves once the person they're fighting actually knows how to defend against him, because once you know how to defend against this character, he becomes way less scary, a lot less threatening, and you end up having a lot more fun than the other person that's actually playing the character, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, but you already know the vibes. I don't want to make these videos too long, so as always, hit the video up with a like, subscribe if you are new to the channel, and if you have any recommendations on who you want me to cover next in this little series, comment them down below as always, and I'll try my best to get to them. Might take a while because, like I said, I do lab these situations out myself to make sure what I'm bringing you is actual, you know, helpful tips and information. So yeah, but with all that being said, we're just gonna hop straight into the boy Leo and let's see what it do. Alright you guys, now like always, I want to go over just a certain number of moves with Leo, which are the problematic moves for a lot of y'all to block most of the time. And the biggest contender for that would be his run through move right here. This move, that's probably the biggest problem a lot of people are going to be having with this character while fighting him. Even people at higher levels sometimes still have trouble blocking it, even if they know how to defend against it. You know, it's really like, it's a really like knowledge check type move, in the way of like, if you don't know how to block against it, your opponent will abuse that against you and you're just gonna have a bad time fighting this character. But like I said earlier, once you know how to fight Leo, it becomes a lot more annoying for the Leo player to try and open you up, because he does have a limited amount of tools that he can do without going into his backturn stance. Now, backturn is something we're going to talk about a little bit later on, but first, just going to get the basics with the run through out of the way. Now, first thing you need to know is, obviously, he has two versus a run through. He has the basic one, which doesn't really go through you, and you really only see it at the end of combo enders like this. You know, small combos like that, or you might see the long range like this. Very simple. You don't really have to worry about this move so much, because if you block it, Leo is negative and they can't really do anything after that unless they have meter to Roman cancel it. But 9 times out of 10, if they just throw this move out and you block it, you should be able to punish it, depending on the distance. You know, there is sometimes you might not be able to get a clean punish off of it, but most of the time you should be able to. Now, going on to the problem child, the run through, obviously. Now, first and foremost with the run through, the most basic way to defend against it is to just grab it. It's a little hard to time though, I'm not gonna lie to you, it's a little hard to time. But once you get the timing down, it's fairly easy. You know, once you practice it a little bit, you should get it fairly easy. One trick that I do use a lot is to just crouch block it, because for some reason, I don't know why, but for me personally, for some reason, crouch blocking just ensures I get the grab whenever. It's a lot easier to do than stand blocking. Now, this is something that's like very hard to do, obviously mid-match, but if you just find the Leo player just throwing it out 9 times out of 10, and you have a situation where you could probably try and crouch block it, for me it's a lot easier to do that. But again, you can just practice grabbing it regularly. It works the same way. There is some leisure time, you know, there is a certain specific timing on when you can't grab him, but 9 times out of 10, it's not really that big of a deal. You should be able to just grab him on reaction if you see him trying to run through you like that. It's very simple, very easy. The other way is obviously just hit him out of it if you see him coming, but the grab is probably going to be your best option. Just practice that option against it and you should be fine. Now moving on to the back turn stance. Now this is a stance that Leo only gets once he, gets that run through off, or he has another way to get into it, which is by doing this move. If he does that little pillar move, he can put himself into back stance as well. Now while Leo is in back stance, he has a couple moves he can do. He has a jab, he has a kick, he has the two problem buttons where it's going to be his slash and his heavy slash. Those are going to be the two issues that you're probably going to see a lot playing against this character. Now the first two moves are going to be talked about are his problem moves, which are going to be his slash and his heavy slash. Now the first thing you need to know about these two moves is this one is a mid, this one is an overhead, and neither of them are plus, meaning he can't hit a button after he does either of these moves. Now here's the thing though, once he hits you with this, if you block it, do not press a button. The reason I say that is because 9 times out of 10, if you see this, then that means this overhead is coming directly after it, right? Now if you block the overhead, now it's your turn to punish. Now this overhead, he can't do anything after it except cancel it into another back turn or cancel it into another special, right? But most Leo players online, or most lower level ones, they might just end up spamming this entire string until they hit you, or they find another way to open you up. But generally after they do this, it should be your turn. Now a good way to stop this one with the overhead is you could just FD it, and if you don't know what FD is, basically it's this green shield move. You can do this by holding back and pressing 2 buttons at the same time, and it pops up. It costs a little bit of meter, but what this move basically does is it ensures that a character basically just gets off of you, right? So as you see here, I'm FDing and it pushes him away from me. So what that enables you to do once you do that is basically it pushes him off you, allows you to get some distance for yourself, and you'll be able to devise a plan to get to him while he's doing all this crazy stuff, right? The one thing you need to know about back stance for Leo is that he can't block. His only defensive option in back stance is this shield right here. But once he's throwing out stuff like this, and he's not really caring about his life, they're just throwing out buttons, they can't really just cancel the overhead or anything into guard, right? Now you have to be careful about this shield, because this shield literally parries everything in the game except for grabs, but everything else, whether it be a projectile, a random button, a certain special, 9 times out of 10 it's gonna parry it. But like I said, if they're just throwing out buttons and you're in a position to where you can you can safely observe the situation and see how the Leo player is moving, they probably won't even be thinking about doing this. 9 times out of 10, if they see you push them out and back up, their main option after going for button would probably be something like this or something like this to close the gap to try and get in on you, in which case, like I told you before, both of these moves are negative, and at a certain distance the cross up one doesn't cross you up, so once you block it you should be able to punish it. If you have a projectile or something, that would be a good place to throw it out. Or if you have a long reaching normal, like say for Eno, she has a button like this or a button like this, if they're in range to do it, I'd say try your luck and be careful. I wouldn't recommend it. I'd probably recommend just trying to get out of that in situation entirely, jumping over it. If you have a projectile, again, throw it out at them. Or if you have a DP, you could even run up DP on them. This game kind of crazy. You could really just run up DP if you really felt like it. If you was really feeling brave, you could run up and DP on them. But my biggest recommendation, if you're in this situation, FD, back up, survey the situation. That's it. Now let's say you're in a situation where you don't have meter and you can't FD it, right? Your best bet at that point, if you can grab it, punish after the overhead. Like I said, the overhead isn't safe. That whole slash and the heavy slash again, that's not a safe string. It's not a true block string at all. After they do the overhead, it's definitely your turn to hit a button. Again, if you have a DP, do it. Press a fast button to stop him from, trying to overextend and restart his pressure. That should be your turn. Now that's the basics for the simple block string in that situation. Now obviously, like I said, Leo does have other buttons. He has the low, which he can go from low into mid. He can't go from low into overhead and truly combo it. It's not an actual combo. You can actually, if he hits you with the low and then goes for overhead, you can block the overhead and get a punish, because low into overhead, like I said, isn't an actual block string. There's a gap there that you can block, and then you can get a punish after the overhead. Now, Leo does have other tools. He has special moves while he's in back stance as well that you should be on the lookout for. He has this long startup overhead. Now, you don't really see a lot of people throw this out, but they might, and if they do and you block it, just know he is plus off of that move. That is one of the moves that he's plus off of when he actually hits you with it, even if you block it. And the reason for that is, once you block this move, let me just set it up real quick. Hold up, I got hit. As you can see, it put me in a guard break state. And once you're in guard break, that basically means your opponent has free range to do whatever they want. They can run up and grab you, they can run up and restart pressure. Even if you have enough time to reblock it, it's still their turn to start pressure and do whatever they want again. So if you see this move, best bet, if you're close enough to the move while it's starting up, you can stop it with a button. It's very slow startup. If you're at a point where you're too far to get a button from it to stop him, just backdash, because at that point, if you're too far to get a button, 9 times out of 10, he'll probably hit you with the tip range of that move and guard break you to restart. So it'd be safer to just backdash and get out of that situation entirely. Now, the next move Leo has in his back stance is command grab. Now, this is probably going to be a move that does catch a lot of people off guard if they're not on their toes. This move is very slow and it's very easy to punish, and it also has a sound cue if you listen closely when he does it. If you hear very closely, it does have a sound cue that tells you he's coming towards you. So if you're ever in a situation and you don't know what the Leo's finna do, I would just suggest, listen closely to the game, make sure you hear that sound, and once you hear that sound, listen closely for it, jump, and you can punish it. As you can see, he has a very long recovery off of that move. He has a whole big animation if he misses it. Once he misses that move, that is your opportunity to go in and punish. Unless they have meter to cancel it for themselves, that is your opportunity to go in and punish it, because it's a long recovery. He's not safe after it at all. Now, a little trick that a lot of Leo players learn to do now is they learn to hit a button into command grab. And what this does essentially is it tricks you into thinking they're going for a regular block string and back stance. So I'm gonna see if I can set it up. That right there. Now, they can do that from any button, mind you, too, whether it be the overhead, the kick, whatever. They can do it from any one of them. Now, obviously, the best thing to do in that situation is jump again, because it's not a true string. They're hitting a button into a whole command grab. That's not a true block string at all, obviously. You can jump out of it. You can hit him out of the startup for the command grab. You can hit him out of the run up for the command grab. You have a DP, you can DP it. You can jump out of it, get your punish, like I said before, because the recovery is so long. There's a lot of options you can do to get out of the command grab. Again, listen for it. It does have a sound cue. It's pretty fast at that range. Once he presses slash into command grab, it's pretty fast, but it's not impossible to get out of. Just pay attention, listen closely, you'll be fine. Leo is one of those characters that if you're not paying attention, they will just keep crossing you up, keep getting away with a bunch of fake stuff, and keep, continuing fake pressure, and it's gonna end up messing you up, mixing you up, and you're gonna get real frustrated. This character is very simple to block as long as you're awake. And when I mean awake, you focus on what the character is doing. Pay more attention to your opponent's character than your character. That's like the biggest tip I can give you if you're getting into fighting games. Learn to pay attention to your opponent's character, because obviously when it comes to your character, you want to know where you are on screen. You want to take note of your own positioning, obviously, yes, but the main character you want to be looking at is your opponent's character, because that character is going to be the one that's a detriment to you and your health bar. You feel me? So make sure you pay attention, just stay awake. Leo, once he gets going, again, he's very simple. He doesn't really have a lot to do. Once you realize how to block his run through by just grabbing it, they really can't do anything. Their biggest thing is trying to get this. This is their entire game plan, is trying to get to this point where you're in this situation where they can just mix you up. Now, this is another thing he has in back stance, which is his little dash through to mix you up as well. You can really just jab this, or crouch or 2P it, which is just your crouching jab, to get out of it real quickly, before they decide to start whatever pressure they want to. Or you can grab him out of it as well. Like I said, he can't block while he's in back stance. So this is his only defensive option. Now, the biggest trick Now the biggest thing that Leo players might do to bait you in is they might go into back stance. Is they might, you know, they might back up, throw some projectiles to bait you in. Just go into back stance randomly. You know, this is something that's like, it's a real old trick. And it wouldn't work on anybody that's like super knowledgeable on the game, but like low level, you know, once you get into that point, like 5 through like 7 type beat in the floors or whatever, you start getting to those tricky Leo players, you know what I'm saying? And they got enough meter. If you see them with 50 meter and you see them back stance randomly, do not approach them. Because at that point, what they want to do, they want to hit you with the back stance super. And this super comes out so fast that it will catch your startup frames on your dash if you're not careful. It will kill you at literally like almost low health. You will die. So be careful. The biggest thing I would say do if you do want to chase them down, remember how I told you about FD or faultless defense before, the green orb? You can stop your dash momentum with that same orb. Now this is a little advanced trick, I'm not gonna lie. I know this is a beginner series, but this trick is a little bit advanced, but I do want to teach you, you know, teach you a little bit of tips and tricks that you can practice on your own when you want to get better at the game, right? So if you dash and cancel your dash with FD, like the moment you see the animation pop up for that super, if that situation ever pops up, you can dash up, instantly hold back and hold the orb, and you'll be straight, because it'll stop your dash entirely. You'll be safe from the super, and if you're close enough, you might even be able to get a punish off of it from him doing whatever. The moment you see it, you'll be straight. You know, he's not a scary character. He could be scary. On paper, he's a very scary character, but once you learn how to defend against a lot of his tricks, you should be fine. For the most part, I'm pretty sure that's majority of what you need to look out for with this character. From what I've seen, that's given a lot of people trouble. Now, if there's anything that I forgot to tell you guys about this character, or there's anything specifically you want to learn how to defend against this character, obviously let me know in the comment section down below. I try to answer as many questions as I can, as accurately as I can for how to defend against certain things that I might have not put into the video. So if you have a question regarding him or how to block against him, let me know in the comment section down below, obviously. But with that being said, that should be everything with the character. That's gonna be it for the video. I hope you guys did enjoy. As always, thank you guys for watching. That's gonna be it from me. Go online, have some fun, and don't be scared about these Leos. If you have problems with May, I got a video for that too. And if you have a problem with Chip, again, a video for that too. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to help a lot of new players and try to help a lot of new people to Guilty Gear, have a lot more fun online, and be a little bit less frustrated. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, if you enjoyed, hit the like button, subscribe if you're new, turn on bell notifications so you get notified next time I upload. And with that being said, that's gonna be it from me. Hope you guys did enjoy, and I'm out. So, boy.